Mercedes-Benz has placed its emblem on 12 towers rising in Dubai, an undertaking valued at roughly $8.2 billion. 12 towers, 10 million square feet of built space, and 13,000 luxury residences, each named after a Mercedes concept vehicle. The company behind the S-Class is now behind an entire district. What follows is the plan taking physical shape. Construction is already underway. The towers are climbing out of the ground. This is how Dubai builds something that once seemed impossible. The site covers 836,000 square meters in an area called Meydan, empty desert land only 8 minutes from downtown Dubai. Dubai's leadership had already earmarked this ground for something ambitious. The agreement establishing the project was signed at the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Stuttgart, underscoring the scale of the partnership. Muhammad BinGhatti, one of Dubai's most ambitious developers of branded residential towers, is staking his largest project yet here. Being just minutes from the Burj Khalifa while sitting on land, priced well below downtown rates, is central to the strategy. The numbers: 836,000 square meters, 12 towers, 13,000 units, and a combined investment of 30 billion dirhams. Each tower carries the name of a different Mercedes concept car, positioning the development less as a cluster of apartment blocks and more as a curated collection. Construction on the first tower began in 2023, with the wider district, referred to as Meydan District 1, formally announced in January 2026. At this scale, the footprint is larger than Monaco's entire harbor district. Before anything can rise, the desert itself has to be mapped and claimed. Every boundary is staked, and every future plot marked out. Surveyors lay out the column grid, fixing the exact position of every pile that will anchor the towers below. Dubai's subsurface is loose desert sand sitting above soft limestone, so each tower requires deep piling to reach stable rock. Drilling rigs begin boring, each shaft driven up to 30 meters into the earth, with hundreds of these piles required across the site. As sand is drawn up and the borehole is kept open, steel reinforcement cages are lowered into place. The strength of each pile comes from that steel encased in concrete, which is pumped in from the base upward, since pouring from the top would cause the mixture to separate. Multiple rigs work simultaneously across all 12 tower footprints, driving thousands of piles across the site. Pile caps then tie groups of piles together, spreading each tower's column loads across several piles, rather than resting on any single one.
Because Dubai's limestone layer is inconsistent,
crews working from suspended platforms install the frame system starting at the ground floor and working upward, with every frame slightly different in width. The exterior skin is what sets this development apart from other towers in Dubai. Facade frames are fabricated off-site to achieve the duplex penthouse floors, built with double-height ceilings, require more complex pours for units priced from around 20 million dirhams.
Once the structural phase concludes on the first 6 towers, cranes begin coming down as facade work ramps up, with construction crews now running around the clock.
And balcony frames are finished on the mid-rise levels, making the stepped profile visible from street level. Transfer floors, structural levels that allow the column grid to shift between the podium and tower sections, are completed. Mechanical plant equipment is craned in through openings left in the facade, which will be sealed permanently once glazing begins.
Elevator guide rails are installed floor by floor, with a tower of roughly 65 stories requiring a minimum of 6 elevator systems. With the structural frames now complete across 12 towers and 1 central spire, attention turns fully to the building envelope,
culminating in the final connection being torqued down so the spire stands above every other element on site, with crews bolting each piece into place at extreme height. Tower 2 tops out shortly after, Tower 3 the following week, as the pace of construction continues without pause. From ground level, the completed penthouse sits so high above that workers on it are no longer visible. Tower 1 is the first to reach structural topping out,
with 11 more still to follow. The first cluster of towers reaches 40 stories, giving the skyline a clear Mercedes-Benz identity.
Mechanical risers are installed within the core, with building services following the structure upward, floor by floor.
Beginning to reveal the stepped silhouette associated with Mercedes' design language.
Post-tension slabs are used throughout, allowing floors to support themselves without deep beams. With the slab following behind and the facade trailing further still. The core is built roughly 3 floors ahead of the slab. Under what is described as the BinGhatti construction rhythm, so that single cranes can serve 2 buildings at once. All 12 towers rise at different rates, intentionally staggered. On the second tower, table forms are flown floor to floor by crane, with the formwork jacking upward and crews riding the platform as the core pours itself level by level. On the first tower, named Avter, a jump form system climbs the structural core 1 floor per day, running from the hub outward, with towers rising on both sides. The boulevard's central axis becomes clearly legible. Work shifts to the building envelope. With the podium level finished and the towers reaching 20 stories, and once its frame tops out, the connection point for the spire above is ready to receive the tallest element of the project. The hub's facade fins are lifted into position, giving the circular structure its final shape.
All 12 cranes become visible from above.
As the hub reaches 3 stories and the surrounding towers climb past 15,
while an underground parking structure running the length of the boulevard provides 3,000 spaces beneath the park.
Below, a central park is laid out, with irrigation and planting saved for the final stages.
With retail space at ground level and elevated walkways above. A central boulevard connects the hub to each of the 12 towers. The same pool that appears in every promotional render begins to take shape.
Above it all, the structure for a rooftop pool. Pre-assembled steel sections are lifted into place on the hub in single crane movements. Stressed once the concrete has cured. While post-tension slabs allow long spans without intermediate columns. Each cast using circular formwork. Sculptural columns support the hub's cantilevered floors, each one contributing to the same central structure. From the center of the hub, all 12 tower cranes are visible at once,
and hand-bent reinforcement steel shaped to match the building's radius.
Its curved geometry demands custom formwork for every panel.
The centerpiece and the other 11 towers are arranged around.
At the heart of the plan sits the Vision iconic spire.
The first columns begin to rise, and the real race to build the city begins. Once all 12 foundations are complete,
followed by basement walls built up 8 meters before any structure appears above ground. A continuous base slab is poured across the full hub excavation without any cold joints. Pumps run around the clock to keep the excavation dry. Because groundwater sits only 4 meters down in Dubai, with the basement level reaching 8 meters below grade. The circular hub at the center of the site is excavated first. Ground beams then link the pile caps into one continuous foundation system. Every pile is tested individually before its cap is poured. With some piles striking solid rock at 8 meters, and others needing to go as deep as 32,